Hey friends, so today's topic is self-work, doing the work, etc. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this topic because, for one, to share my story on the self-work that I have done in the past. Oh, I'm so sorry, my eye is so bad. Okay, I'm sorry. To talk about the self-work that I have done in the past to get through certain situations, and also just to talk about it because I don't really see or hear too much talk about self-work. I know a lot of the talk is about therapy and promoting therapy and encouraging people to go to therapy, which you should. I support therapy 100%. Therapy, I've been to therapy before. So I know the benefits of therapy, but I also want to talk about the self-work piece that goes along with therapy, as well as the self-work that you should do before you get into therapy. Okay. So, some years ago, a while back, before I even got into therapy, there was like so many things that was going on in my life. So many things. It was like blow after blow after blow after blow. And I needed to go to therapy, but I wasn't in that headspace to get to therapy. And so I also want to mention really quick too, yes, therapy is beneficial. Yes, you need to go, but it's not as easy as people may make it seem or make it sound like, oh, go to therapy, make an appointment. It's just not that easy. We can know that we need to go, number one. We can know that we're ready to go in terms of the life around us and what's going on around us, but we may not be mentally ready to go. We may not be physically ready to go, and you have to be ready. Everybody else and everything else can tell you that it's time for you to go, and you may know that you need to go, but you have to be ready enough to take that step. And when you take that step is when you take that step, and don't let nobody put that on you and like force you and rush you to go. Do it on your own time. I digress. Now, so, a lot of society talks about therapy, but they don't really talk about the self-work. And some years ago, before I got into therapy, because I wasn't ready to go to therapy yet. I know I needed to go, but I wasn't ready to go. And so I had to figure out a way to survive. I had to figure out a way to cope with everything that was going on, because it was one of those situations, or a lot of the situations was Brendan, if you don't help yourself, you're not gonna make it. Like you're literally not gonna make it. It's like things were just so heavy, and it was just so much going on in my life that I was not gonna make it. Even though I knew that I needed to go to therapy and I wasn't ready to go, I still was like, I have to do something until I'm ready to get to that point, even though life was like, you need to go, if this makes sense. And so I began doing the work, and a part of doing the work and doing self-work is knowing who you are, knowing what you are, knowing exactly what your circumstances are, knowing how you want to maneuver in these circumstances, knowing how you want to get out of these circumstances, knowing how you want to feel after these circumstances is a part of this self-work. Okay. So, it was a lot, and it's crazy to even try to think about like every single thing that I did to help myself, because one, it was so long ago, but two, I think, and I feel like it was like a flight or fight type of thing. Like I was in such a go mode. It was like, it was so necessary for survival. It was so necessary for my sanity that I just did whatever it was that I did to get through and to heal. You know what I mean? But a few things that I know I did do, journaling was very, 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 very important to me in my life back in the day. It was very therapeutic. It was very healing, because I wasn't ready to take that step to go talk to somebody I didn't know. So that paper was it for me. And so being able to just journal out everything, write down everything, and get all that stuff out was very beneficial and very therapeutic. Also, I found that finding things that you like to do, or, like, so for example, like listening to music or things like that. I also was very heavy into poetry. I love poetry. And so back then I used to write poetry, and it was a way to put my story and my pain into something that can be enlightening for others, right? And I never shared my poems. It was just a thing for me to do, to know, like, your story is one, a hell of a story. Two, your story is amazing. Three, there's so many people out here in this world that, one, have it worse, but that are going through the same things. You know what I mean? And so just being able to write that out and put that into something was amazing for me. And so just doing that, and then also, when things would happen or things would occur, just finding that way to get out of it, right? So, if something happened, cry about it, but then after you cry about it, get up. Talk to yourself and say, you got this, you don't have to go through this, you know what I mean? Or talk positive to yourself. Like, yes, this is happening, but you're worthy. You're worth more than this situation. It's all temporary. The pain is long term. The hurt is everlasting, but the current situation is temporary. And I want to make that point, because we all know healing is a process. I say this all the time on my page. Healing is a process, and healing is a journey. So you may get through that situation, and you may get through that moment, but that pain and that hurt from that moment will last for you forever. So, I have healed from some of the things. I'm still working on others, but the pain and the hurt from those things last, because you don't forget it. You never forget about what happens to you. And depending on what your situation is and what that trauma brung, you're going to always keep that on you. You know what I mean? So you have to find ways to heal. You have to constantly do the work. And if you're not at that place for therapy, do the work. Figure out what you like. Figure out what makes you happy. Figure out the ways and the methods that align with your life, that align with your spirit. Because journaling and poetry worked for me, but it may not work for you. Some people love music, and they like to write music or listen to music all day and night. I'm not an all day and night music person. It's like a situation. Like if I'm saying, oh, let me play a little gospel. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like I want to fight, oh, let me play a little, knock a few bucks. I don't know. But you got to figure out what works for you. But I just want you guys to know that the work is necessary. It's not an option. You have to do the work. And the thing I want to say too, and I want this to stick with you guys, is you cannot expect another person to heal you. You cannot expect another person to give you the joy and happiness that you require and or that you want in your life. You cannot expect for another person to bring whatever it is into your life that you desire. It is your life. You are in control of your life. Well, I like to believe that God is in control of my life, and those who believe is in control, but you have to do the work. You cannot be given an assignment and not do the work. If you do not complete that assignment, if you do not do the work, the necessary work, and complete that assignment and turn that assignment in, you're not going to get a grade for it. You're going to have a 0. You're going to have a fail. If you don't do the work, you're going to fail. And I want that to be something that you all take away from this, because I know that I be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I get the rambling. But this is the important piece now, okay? Congregation, you have to do the work, y'all. And if you don't know what to do, that is perfectly okay. You can research, you can Google, you can ask somebody else that, not your peers, okay? Don't be asking your friends, but ask somebody that's a little bit higher up. So somebody that you admire, or a role model, or a mentor, or whoever. Ask somebody, hey, what could I do for this type of situation? or somebody that you know has gone through a similar thing. Hey, what are the things that you did in this situation? And whatever they tell you, if it's something that aligns with who you are and something that aligns with your spirit in your life, then take that, flip it a little bit, and apply it to yourself, But don't be discouraged. Don't ever be discouraged about what you're going through and what the situation may be, because things can drastically change from month to month, from week to week, year to year, etc. So you can be down and out today, but tomorrow God might be like, boom, he might put something on your lap and you know what I'm saying? And you take off. You just never know. But you won't know if you don't do the work. So do the work and trust in yourself and believe that you're capable and you're worthy of getting through whatever situation you're going through. And be gentle on yourself and give yourself grace, and know that healing is a process. Healing is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. It may not even happen in 2 months or in 2 years. But the fact and the point is that it's going to happen. You are going to get through what you're going through, and you are going to heal. And when you heal and you come on that other side, God damn it, you're going to be excited. You're not going to ever want to go back. And you're going to want to tell everybody about your wins. Okay? You're going to want everybody to know, like, look at me. I did this, And the thing is, too, I'm going to say this, and I'm getting off the pulpit. If you're not comfortable with sharing every single piece of your story, you don't have to. Because the thing about it is, with me, there's a lot of things that I've gone through that nobody, completely, like 0 people know about. There's things that I've gone through that some people do and some people don't. You know what I mean? And there's things that I've gone through that a lot of people know about. But the thing is, and especially with this platform, I haven't shared anything really that I've gone through. But I'm not going to let my lack of sharing stop me from being a blessing to somebody else, because I know what my story is. You feel what I'm saying? I know me, and I know what my story is. So because I know my story, I know how to help the next person. And when I feel as though it's the right time to start letting things out and start sharing, that's when I'm going to do so. And I'm never going to be pressured to tell all my business or to tell my story today just to feel like, oh, in order for them to like me, I got to tell somebody what I'm going. You don't got to do that. Be yourself, be authentic, be genuine. Focus on what you have to do and what your mission is, because when you listen to your assignment and you follow in your path, and you start to heal yourself and you start to work yourself, everything around you is going to align. When you start to heal yourself, people are going to look at you and they're going to be admired. They're going to want to know, what the hell is it that you're doing? And in that moment, you may feel like sharing, because I may share my story with somebody in the DM, but I may not do a video about it. But just know that my assignment is I'm doing the work for the assignment, one that I was given to myself, because I have an assignment for myself. I told myself, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. But I also have assignments from God, and I'm going to make sure that it gets done. However I get it done, I don't know now, because, I'm a little indecisive and, I don't know. But it's going to get done. So anyways, the moral of this goddamn video is do the work. Figure out what it is for you that makes you happy, that makes you heal, that makes you feel sane, that brings you peace, that brings you joy, that lifts your spirits, that keeps your energy good. Do what you have to do for you. And when you are ready to take that next step towards your healing journey, you take that next step. And if you need to reach out to somebody, you do that, because we can't do it alone. Okay? And if you're trying to do it alone, that's a part of the goddamn problem. And that's all I got to say for today.